Alright, good afternoon everybody. Today is Wednesday, the 16th day of July, 2025. We're going to go over a few things today, the swing trade thing. We're going to take some trades. Hopefully we'll get some good opportunity. There's been a ton of volatility today, so we should have some good stuff. Now, this is just the thing that was sent out with the email, but we're averaging $400 per contract on our Wednesdays, on these sessions, these live trading sessions that we're doing on Wednesdays so far. And so the cost being as little as it is, just coming to the Wednesday things would cover the cost. You do the math. Alright. Nilesh, if you go here to TradingView Trades, targetviewtrades.com, click on this link right here, alright, and sign up through this link right here. There's nothing else that I can give you that you're not going to get through that link. Alright, that's all you're going to get. I mean, it's going to take you to the GoToWebinar sign up thing, and you sign up there however you want to do it. You can do it on your computer, you can do it on your phone, you can do it however you want to do it. Okay, there's nothing more that I can give you than that. Alright, so let's just take a quick look at where we stand with everything right now. I have the YM right here. I'm going to put the Russell back in there. Okay, I think I ended last week's meeting with the YM on that, so I'm going to put the Russell back in there because that's the DOM that I have open for this. I'm going to minimize this, and I'll get into the swing trade stuff and all that in a few minutes. Alright, if anybody has any questions, just type them in. Alright, I encourage the questions. Sharon, you had asked me a question. You were asking about the green down here, right? The green and the red down here. That's basically giving you the information that you would get from here. Similar information that you would get from here, except it's reducing it and making it more with the trend. Okay, you're not going to get as many signals here, and it's going to be more aligned with the trend. That's what that's all about. Okay. The red and the green over there. It takes a look at the longer term trend, whereas this doesn't really look at the longer term trend. This looks at the right now, the optimized trigger. Okay, I know that you had sent that in to me, and I said remind me if I forget. Alright, so what we have going on right here, if we look at all of these things right now, we had a lot of opportunity today. I mean, we ended up, the morning session was okay. It ended up okay, but at one point, I trade 9:30 to 11:30 in the mornings, and at 11 o'clock I was negative on this morning session. I was positive pretty good early on. It didn't take long to get my goal, but I was negative at 11 o'clock, so I was hoping for opportunity, and the NQ gave us a bunch of opportunity. There was a bunch of volatility. At certain times it was really sporadic, but it would just it would explode with volatility. Like 3 or 4 times today that happened. And I don't know what was driving it all. Alright, you see the stuff I have going over here on the side? These are alerts that are sent out to the Telegram channels. Alright, all these things are sent out to the Telegram channels. They're split up in between the various Telegram channels, but they're all different kinds of alerts. Now, the newest alert that I have going out is going to say this right here. The TVT swing trade. That's TradingView Trades swing trade. Now, if I click on this, you will see that this alert triggered. Well, I actually don't have it on here. I'd have to put the swing trade on here. I'll show you that one in a minute. Okay, let me put this back where it was. This was a 9 range. A 9 range Russell, right? Here it is, 9 range. I'm on the wrong layout to be clicking these alerts. I'll go do that in a second on the other one. But the new ones say TVT swing trade, alright? And that's the ones that are going to go into the channel. Now, there's going to be other ones that go into the swing trade channel, but they don't say swing trade on them. They don't say TVT swing trade, alright, in the swing trade channel. For those of you guys who have access to that, I mean, anybody who's an active subscriber right now or is on the free trial has access to the TVT swing trade tool and channel. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that I'm doing it on a one-off right now, so you guys can get in there, and if you see anything, if anything jumps out at you that appears to be wrong or not working, you let me know, and I'll get right on it. But the TVT swing trade, it's in here right now. It's an actual indicator in here right now. All right, that is going to be part of the TV trades up here. When I'm done with it, it's going to be included in the TV trades. So you turn on the TV trades, and you're going to be able to turn on the TVT swing trade within it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. How do you make my screen full to see it better? I don't know, Michael. That's on. You probably have something like this up here on top of your browser. I don't know what kind of browser you're using. I have no idea. I'd have to be at your desktop to help you out with that, Michael. Let's see. You didn't ask for it. The email that went out to you guys, the one that had this on it, it said if you want to have access to the TVC swing trade and you're an active subscriber, to request it and to send in the email, send me your TradingView login ID. So that's for all you guys that are out there. I mean, you all got that email 3 times. Yeah, 3 times you got that email. So, if you want access to the TVT swing trade thing, you got to send me an email. All right. Eventually, I'm going to put it right inside the TV trades. It's probably going to be outside the TV trades for maybe a week or 2, maybe 3 weeks or a month. We'll see. But eventually, I'm going to put it inside the TVT trades. Now, the reason I'm doing it separately is so that you guys can all have a look at it, and everybody gets their own look, and everybody gets their own view, and you can all tell me certain things that you found. And if you see something on different markets that I'm not looking at, if you find that it works really well on something that I'm not looking at, then let me know. All right, I want to know about that, and we'll be able to help everybody. Everybody wins if you do that. Go to the TH. What's the TH? 99719. Okay, that's all good. What do you mean, Jerry? Okay. All right. So on this page right here, I have what the swing trades show you, right? And so what I was looking at earlier was, I think I clicked on one of these over here, one of the actual swing trades, one of the ones that says. Yeah, TVT swing trade. We just had one here. This is a micro Russell, so I have them triggered for the micros and for the regular contracts. But you can see the last one that triggered was right here. It was on 100 range bar. It triggered right here. Now the information that you get out of this, if you look at this little piece of information right here, all right, what it gives you is that just gives you created. That didn't give you all the information that should give you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the actual. This is the actual trigger. Sorry, I was going to say, what the heck didn't I give you all the information? That's what it looks like from my end. This is what it looks like from your end. Okay, so I didn't get one there on the Russell. Well, I did get something on the Russell. The last one on the Russell was right here. So if we go to that, that was at 10:51 today. So that's going to be down here. 10:51. Right in here somewhere. This should be a Russell trade. Here it is right here. Swing sell. This is one right here. This is the information it gives you. Now, when you look at this information, what it's giving you guys, because this was one of the questions that came up, and if you do sign up, if you send me your email and you want to get hooked up with the swing trade thing, when you get the arrow, like this right here, nonetheless, this is something that you asked me about, Nilesh. Go to the 3 dots and hit toggle full screen. Oh, okay, that's what Jerry was saying. Okay. 3 dots. These 3 dots over here? I don't know. Anyway, he'll figure it out. He's a smart guy. He's actually an accountant. But this right here, the information you get from it, first of all, you see this black bar at the end right here? That is the current bar. When using range bars, that bar cannot be updated intra-bar. I mean, if you throw on any one of the indicators, you see how that bar has no color behind it, has no color in it or behind it? If you throw this on down here, all the way down here, the indicator does not show on that last bar. Alright, actually this one's, yeah, it doesn't show on that last bar. That's because with range bars, it does not update intra-bar. Alright, Nilesh, it does not update intra-bar. So when that bar closes is when it determines whether it should do anything. It's going to move the indicators around and stuff like that when that bar closes. Alright. But prior to that, you just got to kind of go with what you know about the close of the bar, what's going to happen on the close of the bar. Now, with the new swing trade thing, you guys don't know when this is going to happen, right? I don't have any indicator showing down here anywhere that's saying, you're about to get one of these things. But I am going to make something that lets you know you're about to get one of these things. You get a warning. Alright, because these right now you have alerts that you can set on them right in here. If you go in here and let's just do alert right here. We'll go to alert like this. And we're on, you can't, the micro Russell 2000 is what it is, but you just come in here and you do swing trade like that. And you can do any alert function call. And what that's going to do is it's going to create, you can rename this by the way, to whatever the symbol is and all that. It's going to create an alert that triggers whenever this alert happens. So you can set the alert to go off, and like, you know, these things happen in the middle of the night and all that. Like, it's, you know, some of them happen in the middle of the night, I think. Anyway, some of them do happen in the middle of the night. But you can set this so that it'll send you an email, it'll play a sound, it'll notify you in the app, a toast notification pops up on the screen. That's not going to be useful to you when you're sleeping, but any one of these things you can set it so it'll let you know that you have one of these things triggering, right? What I'm going to do for you guys is create something that lets you know a little bit ahead of time, like a bar ahead of time, that you're in a position where the next bar could be the thing that's going to trigger the arrow. Alright, now you could be in that position for a few bars, and if you're doing a swing trades, that, you know, those few bars are going to be, there's going to be a lot of time in between them. But at least gives you a little heads up so you can start to listen for it. You know what I mean? That's my thought with that. I mean, I know right now you have this and you can set alerts on this so that you're notified when this happens, because I mean, you're not going to sit there every bar and see, is this going to be the one that gives me the black arrow? You're not going to do that. That's not how swing trades work. With swing trades, it's going to be a longer term thing. Like, you get 1 or 2 a day, you know, and that's pretty much how it works. You know, this is all this week. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this week in 3 days. So that was a good one. That one didn't work out. That one didn't work out. That was a good one. That was a good one. So 3 out of 5 worked out well. And if you're doing like 150 by 100 bracket, this is on 100 range. If you're doing 150 by 100 bracket or a 200 by 100 bracket, then you got 200, 400, 600, minus 100, minus 100. So you're up 400 ticks. See, and that's with one contract. And that's what the day this week would have been like. Alright, and last week would have been similar. You know, if you use the same kind of thing. You know, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. That one there. You know, if you put your stop to break even after you get 100, then you would have gotten out of that at break even, you would have gotten out of that at break even, you would have gotten a stop out on that. Another 200 there. So you'd be at 900 then, because this would put you at, I'm sorry, this would put you at 1,200 minus 100. So you'd be at 1,100. Then minus that right there, you'd be at 1,000. Or what we gotten into today. Sorry, that was all last week. Last week you would have had 1,100, I think, is what it worked out to be. But that's 1,100 ticks. Okay, and it's on the micro. So if you'd had 2 micros on, then it would have been $1,100. Just want to point this out because I have it going for the micro. Right now, I have the alerts actually going for the micro Russell, the regular Russell, the micro YM, the regular YM, the micro NQ, the regular NQ, the micro ES, and the regular ES. And I have it going for some of these equities too. If you come in here and look at some of these equities like GGAL, CCB, APO, I have it for a few of the equities. Alright, I'll go back and do it for more of the equities in the future. But if you just look at the equities, you know, it's the same type of thing, except when you look at equities, in here it's on a 50 range, so every bar is 50 cents. Alright, so in this case you'd be risking 50 cents to make a couple bucks. Alright, to make a buck or two every time. Right, you can see that it works out really well. It works out really well with everything. If you guys, when you're looking at the swing trade stuff, you say, well, that's not really that much of a swing trade, because, you know, a swing trade I think is going to happen like once every other day or something like that. Go to a larger time frame. Then you get every other day. Alright, it's the same logic, it just applies to a larger time frame. Your risk is going to be bigger, your target's going to be bigger, all that stuff. Alright, so you can see right here, this is all of July. We had this one trade so far in July. If you want to do it that way. Alright, depends on what you want for risk. So, this was an equity, a stock. It's CCB, whatever that is. And that's something else, guys. If you have a stock that you want to apply to the swing trade thing and you want to have it, you know, issued like in the Telegram channel or something like that, you can let me know and I can create it for you, as long as it's not like too many of them. I don't want to, because, you know, there's a lot of people that are going to be looking at that Telegram channel, and let me just show you what the Telegram channel looks like. If I even have it open. There it is. That's not the Telegram channel. Is this it? That's not it. Is this it? That's not it. Is this it? This is it. Alright, so this is what it looks like in the Telegram channel. Okay. These are the ones that triggered today. Now, in the Telegram channel, if it says TVT swing buy, it's going to say TVT swing to be using the most recent stuff. There's a lot of them that get triggered, like AA TVT sell. Those are all good too, but they're not using the most recent trigger. They're not using the most recent trigger in there. Okay, I thought I saw. Alright. But you see when it says TVT swing sell, TVT swing sell, TVT swing sell, those are all different markets. And TVT swing buy, it gives you the time. I gotta put a space in there. The signal bar, close price. What that is the close of the bar before the open that you're gonna trade. Alright. So what it's giving you right here, like this is Netflix. Let's go look at that Netflix one. And I'll show you. Okay, the latest thing that triggered in there. Wait a minute, that Netflix wasn't, no, that wasn't one of them, sorry. The YM. The YM was the latest one that had the TVT. This one, right here, the YM. Okay, so this was a buy back here. And what it gives you, and what it gave you in here, was this right here. The YM TVT swing buy, 716, 12, 22, 34. The signal bar close price was 44,268. So what that is giving you is the close price of this bar. Alright, the bar that's got the arrow on it, 44,268. You see that? That's what it's giving you. And what you're going to do is buy the open of the next bar. Or you could wait, and try to buy a little bit better than the open, but the open of the next bar is really what you're shooting for in there. Right? And then you can see that that went up, and this is on a 50 range, so every bar is 50 ticks. You would have risked about 50, 55 ticks on this, and it went, well, what was the open right here? 268, and it ran all the way up so far, up to 433, so almost 200 ticks. Okay. Now, if you want to see it on a larger time frame, if you want to see it on, you want more space in there between these swing trades, you just have to make it a bigger time frame. It uses the same logic to create the trades. Alright, you're going to have fewer trades, they're going to be bigger stops, they're going to be bigger gains, but it's all the same. Okay, now I haven't taken a single trade yet. Let's get in here and see if we have anything going here. We have one setting up over here on the NQ, we have one setting up on the Russell, we don't have anything here, we don't have anything here. Now, let's pop this off the side for a second, and let me go over this little bit of it with you. Let me crunch this up and spread this up. Alright, so the two that we're really looking at are this one here and this one here. Now this one just hit the midpoint. It's in the overbought, it just hit the midpoint. It just needs a down close. Alright, so it's got a high 56.25, so I'm going to sell 51.25. Alright, I'm going to sell 51.25. So on a down close, the down close is going to be at 51.50. So I'm going to sell one tick below the 51.50 on this. Alright, this is what it looks like. Sell 51.25, sell stop limit right there, 10 contracts. Okay, that's what I'm looking to do. Now, if the top stays where it is, then that's gonna happen. Over here on the gold, you see how it hasn't hit the midpoint yet. I like it to hit the midpoint. I would prefer it to hit the midpoint. This isn't even in the overbought, so we need an up close on this to get it into the overbought. Actually, this, yeah. We need an up close to get into the overbought. The gold's not really giving us anything, so I'm going to slide that back over. Alright, so the NQ didn't close down, it closed up, so now we've got to reevaluate it. Look where the top is, the high is at 56.50, so now I'm looking at 51.50 instead of 51.25. 5 points below the top of the bar is what I'm looking at. Alright, it was one tick higher than it was a minute ago. That's all. So a down close is going to fill me. It's going to have the down close at 51.75, and I'll get filled at 51.50 or right around there somewhere probably. Okay, that's my hope. Now, you see the ES is in the blue, it just came out of the oversold. You didn't end up with a trade there because it was nowhere near the midpoint when it came out of the oversold. Right, you see this is blue right here, that indicates that the next the background color could change, so I should actually cancel my order here and wait to see if the background color does change. It didn't. We have 2 blue bars now, and the background color didn't change. Well, now the high of the bar now is at 58. So now I'd be selling 53, 5 points below the high of the bar. Okay, 5 points below the high of the bar. And I do kind of want to wait and see what the down close is like. It might change the background color because we have 2 blues right here. The blues suggest that the background color could change. Alright, if you get a blue on a red background, that's what that means. Oops. I seem to have lost this. Not that. This, not that. This, not that. That. Not that. Uh-oh. Where is it? Here you guys are. There you are. Alright. You guys can still hear me, right? Nobody's asked a question in a little while. That's unusual. It's 2:43. I haven't asked a question in 10 minutes. My microphone's still on. Everything looks good. Okay. Alright. So we're looking for a down close here on the NQ. That's the only thing that's about to trigger a trade. See, the ES is in the blue. If you came off the midpoint right here when it came out of the oversold, you would have had a trade there. See, the background color did change. So I'm going to cancel the order that I had waiting there on the NQ. See, that's my waiting order. I'm just going to hit cancel all. And now it's going to have to pull back. The midpoint is going to act as support now instead of the resistance we were looking for here. Okay. That is what we're looking at now. Oh, that's good, Christina. I didn't realize we had that. Alright, so the gold is headed down and all the indices are starting to head up. It is 256. Now, it's been a wild day with the indices, actually with everything. There's been a lot of movement today. A lot of movement. Okay, see this right here? On a 19 range, that would be a swing trade right there. But I don't really want to do it on a 19 range. Alright, so we're looking for now, we have our midpoint kind of stable there. The midpoint, if it pulls back from here, the midpoint would be kind of stable. Starts pulling back here and here. So that's what we're looking for. Alright, we're just looking for things to pull back down and test the midpoint on all 3 of the indices and up and test the midpoint on the gold. Alright, the way the indicators are all set up down here, yeah, we should be all good with that. So we're just going to wait for a trade setup. Alright, I really was concerned today that I was going to have a non-green day. I haven't had a non-green day yet this year, and I thought today was going to be the one. But the last half an hour pulled it out for us. We ended up going from 0 to $700 and something a contract in the last half hour. Right. There's $737 a contract, and I think we're down like $22.50 or something like that when at like 11 o'clock today. By 11:30 we're up 730 something per contract. And it was a little bit of everything. It wasn't just the NQ, but it was mostly the NQ. Do we target the high with the swing trades? Well, yeah, you can do that, Jessica. You can target the swing high and low. If it's beyond what the initial target should be, like, you know, for me, if you're on 100 range, the initial target should be like 150 ticks. Right? You can have your stop at like 105. Your initial target should be about 150. And you know, do that for pretty much all of them. Make the target like 1.5, the bar size. That's usually going to work out pretty well for you. Now, that doesn't necessarily work out to be the swing trade type of gains. You know, if you really want to have bigger gains with swing trades, you're going to have bigger time frames. But like right here with the 50 puts you right about here, which is just about the swing high. But on this one, the 50 puts you right here, and the swing high is all the way up there. It should make it to the swing high. So if you're talking about extended targets, then yes, that is a good idea. But you know, once you get that 50 in there, you want to lock in some profit as much as you can. Okay. Alright, Alright, we almost have a trade over here on gold. We need up close on this one, and I'm going to have to go flat in the overbought, have an up close on the next one, and that might give us a trade there on gold. Alright. Wayne is back. Jessica said okay. Alright, and let me just make sure the recording is still going. The recording appears to still be going. That's all good. It's recording the right screen. Hopefully everything is working out well, and we'll see at the end. It was 2 weeks ago that things didn't work out well, right? And then last weekend I got a new mesh network. I now have 3 of them in my house. I actually hooked one of them into this one. And that one is actually giving quicker results right now. If I do a speed test on it, it's giving better results than this one. So it's making the old mesh network work on this 6E internet. So this right here is not a trade, okay? It's pulled back and hit the midpoint. You're not in the oversold, but it brought the midpoint up to the bottom. It didn't go down to meet the midpoint. Right? You want it to go to the midpoint. You don't want the midpoint to come to it. Right. Did that make sense to you all? Hopefully it made sense. Alright. Now, I don't know why we're getting a blue bar over here. We're getting blue bars all the way down. That doesn't make any sense at all. Something is off on my settings on that one. Bar color is on. In here. That's what it is. There we go. Alright, so now we have an established midpoint. We're not in the oversold and we're not in the overbought, so we don't have a trade here on the gold yet. Okay, not yet. The market's just not really giving us a whole bunch right now. So now's a good time for you to ask questions, really. If you guys have a lot of questions, now's a good time to ask. I didn't make the change in here with the optimized trigger to only go in the direction of the TV trades background color. I haven't done that yet. Alright, I was really close to getting it done like a month ago. I was really close to getting it done. But then I wanted to ask you guys if you guys used it the way that it is, or if you would rather have it that way and people are using it the way that it is, trading in both directions. So I have to make it optional. I had it at the point where I could do one or the other, but I couldn't do both at the same time. And I really don't want to complicate things any more than I already have. It went from being a super simple thing to being something not as simple. To actually, I don't know, to put on the charts and start taking trades from. That's originally I wanted it to be just put TV trades on to start taking trades. If you get an up close here on the NQ, that's going to be a long trade. Alright, let's get the low here, 71.50, so 76.50 is what we're going to be buying. Right, 76.50 is what we are going to be buying on that. This is what it looks like. Buy stop limit 76.50. Alright, it should make it up to 82.75, but even if it doesn't make it all the way to 82.75, it should make it up to 78 or more. It would just trigger us in. So we need 2.5 points now. It's going to get up to 78.50 to get the stop to break even. Alright, 78.50 to get the stop to break even. It should go through the prior swing high right here, but we'll see what it does. It's got a 25 tick stop. Should have a 25 tick stop. It's going to get up to 850. 850. The yellow has to get to 850 to bump that stop. I think it's going to go. Oh, come on. It was right there. It's going to go. We don't have anything on the other markets yet. Okay, they're going to have to pull back a little deeper. Oops. Well, no, maybe it won't go. We got a 25 tick stop right there. We don't go as one tick away from getting it. Minus 25. Alright, let me put that in here like this time. Okay, let's put this down. Minus 25 on that one. Alright, keep track of it that way. We didn't end up with a trade right here on the ES yet. Alright, we're in the oversold, but we're not at a point where we can trade. The Russell went right through it here, and then it went too far through it. So the up close right here where it came out of the oversold was below the midpoint. You don't want to trade that. The gold never gave us anything over here. So the NQ pretty much stops us out to the tick. That should go up now. It probably will go up now. But, well, we're out of it. So, it is what it is. If it is in the correct trend. Okay, that's what I was... How about gold and Bitcoin using swing trades? Alright, let's go look at that. In just a sec here. I want to take the ZS trade if it comes. Alright, we could have a trade right here on this bar. If it goes down one more tick and then gives an up close, that'd be a trade on this bar on the ES right now. Okay, there's one more tick down. Now we need the up close. And it's got a low right now, this bar. Has a low 150, so you'd be buying 350 on that. Alright, be looking for the up close at 350. Now the low is even lower. 125, so you're buying 325 right now. 2 points above the bottom of the bar. Right. 2 points above the bottom of the bar. Let's see how that goes. Oh, now it's 1, so you're going to be buying 03 right now. Okay, so the up close right there. At 63.03 is a long trade right there. Okay. And here that is. Now that should go up to 63.07. This stop goes to break even after 4 ticks in profit. Okay, after 4 ticks in profit, this stop will go to break even. And we'll see how that goes. Alright. After stopping out over here on the NQ, we didn't have any follow-up trade. And over here on the gold, we almost have a trade right now. If we get an up close on this, it's going to put us in the overbought. And then, if we get an up close on this, it's going to put us in the overbought. And then we'll be looking for a down close. Okay, so we need an up close on this, and then a down close on the next one. Will give us a trade over there on the gold. Okay. Let me move this back up here so I can answer questions. If you guys have any questions, Wayne, yes, would I put my stop limit at? Oh, I just went through the whole thing with you. As it went down lower, I was 2 points above the 2 points above the low of the bar, Wayne, is what I was doing the whole time. Okay. The gold's almost good to trade. The S is almost ready to go to break even. It's going to hit 04 to go to break even. It should at least get up here to 05. Alright, but it's going to hit 04 to go to break even. Now the high of the day is right up here at 63.07. We'll see if we get a rally in the last hour here or not. Time will tell. The gold is selling off here in the last hour a little bit. We'll see what happens here. And we need an up close on the gold, not a down close. Down close would mess everything up. Down close. Well, it wasn't that bad. It still kind of messed things up because now you're almost in the overbought, but you're not quite in the overbought. It gave an up move in the trigger on a down close, which is unusual, but it did. So it didn't mess it up that bad. Alright, so you want to see, let me put this window on top. Okay, and the gold is not a trade here because it's not in the overbought. I don't think. It's not. Okay, and the yes, you see these numbers up here on the yes? That's where it wants to go up to, right up there. So the ES should give us what we want. The Russell is in a position to give us a short right here, actually. 36.6 down to 35.6 on the Russell. And the gold, if it were in the overbought, we'd have a trade here, but it's not, so we don't. Okay. The gold's going down. I think the S is going to pop right about now. One more. One more. Patience. Waiting. It's gonna go. You'll see. You see the Russell change to a blue background. So there's no short trade there on the Russell at all. And the gold sold off. It didn't get into the overbought. If it got into the overbought, we could have been part of that sell-off, but it never made it. here and see. You're in at 6303, just like me. Okay, we'll see how this plays out. It should work out. It should work out. It's taken a long time, but it should get up to 6307, which is the high of the day. That's where it should be going for right now. Okay, at a minimum, it should go up here halfway up to the high of the day. If it's going to sell off, it should get up halfway up there, which would be 305. Which would be plenty to get some, good profit. For me, that'd be $1,000 in profit if it gets up there and I get out with 8 ticks. 04, there it is. Stop going to break even. Alright, now we're probably gonna end up with a break even. It's not going right through it like I wanted it to. I was hoping it was gonna run right up here and run right up to the prior swing high, which is up here at 307. That'd be great. That'd be 16 ticks. But it's gonna give me a break even, I think, right now. See this number right here, it wants to go in that, but we ended up with a break even. Okay, I'll just write that in here. Oops, BW. Break even. BW, be way back. The speech impediment. Alright, so the Russell has a chance to give us a long trade here, but it didn't. The ES got us into and out at 303, up to 304, then back down to 303. And the NQ is almost in place to give us another trade here. It doesn't really have... Nothing's really showing any strength on the upside right here. Everything's showing a little bit on the upside, but nothing's showing any real strength. Right, and the gold did not get into the overbought here. If it would have gotten into the overbought, we would have sold it right over here, but it didn't get in there, so we ended up with nothing there. Alright, so let me go back in here and see if any other questions came in. Look at the 4-tick. Yeah, the 4-tick on the ES. I'm sure the 4-tick on the ES is probably given a lot more opportunity. If we drop down there, I'm sure I have a 4-tick here somewhere. Here it is. 4 range. Yeah, the 4 range, well, it's in some chop right here, so it's a pretty ugly chop. It would have given a short trade. It wouldn't actually even been a short trade. It wouldn't have given you anything yet. Because the last one that came out of the overbought was right here, but that one didn't hit the midpoint. So you wouldn't take anything else going short right there. So even the 4 range isn't really giving you anything. It's just a lot of sideways movement that we just have to wait on. Alright, well, while we wait on that, let's go back here, and you want to look at Bitcoin on this, right? So Bitcoin, BTC, I'm not going to look at futures. I don't look at futures. Let's look at this. This Bitcoin. Now, you're not going to look at that on a 50 range. You're going to look at that on like a 5,000 range. Something like that. Okay, there's your Bitcoin. So on a 5,000 range, I believe every bar is $50. Alright, I believe that's right. Is that right? 290.37 up to 337. Yeah, that's right. Every bar is $50 on a 5,000 range. If you want to make every bar $100, you would go to a 10,000 range. Okay, the 5,000 range looked a little better than this, but either way, every bar in here is $100. Alright, now I don't know why you'd want to trade Bitcoin like that. I think you can go to a larger time frame if you wanted to. You can make every bar $1,000, I think. Let me go see if I can add a bigger one on there. Interval value is too big. Hang on, let me do it in range here. 100,000. That's a 100,000 range bar. Okay. So then every bar is $100. That's alright. Every bar is $1,000. That's what it is. Every bar is $1,000 in Bitcoin. Right? That should be it. 16,250 up to 17,250. Yeah, every bar in here is $1,000 now. So it works the same. All the same stuff. It's all the same formulas and all that stuff that's applied. Okay. Who had asked that? That was a ways back. Oh, Gito, you asked that. This is what it looks like on Bitcoin. You can put it on whatever time frame you want, but I know this is a really big one, but you can put it on whatever time frame you want. Look, we turned to red background over here on the NQ. We had to put the break even here on the S, but it didn't go anywhere. We ended up with no trade here on the Russell, and we might get a trade here on the gold. Okay, not the gold. That's not gold, is it? Was it? Yeah, it was gold. All right, so let me go to gold here. That was one of the other questions that you had, right? How about the gold swing trades? That's what I'm going to look at right now. Now, with gold, you got to really think about what time frame you want to use. I'm not sure with gold what time frame would be best. It's a Q contract, right? And yeah, we're not going to have 1,000 range. Or 10,000 range. We'll go to like a 50 range to start out with. Okay. So in here, every bar is 500 bucks. Alright, every bar is 500 bucks in here. 50 ticks. Okay. And it works out pretty well here. The 50 range might be too much. You might want to go to a 25 range, where every bar is 250 bucks. And, you know, it's going to give you good indications pretty much all the time. Okay. And however you want to do it, swing trades, you know, there's a lot of trades here. This is today on the 25 range. There's a lot of trades today, but today is really volatile today, and it's not always that way. But here it is on 100 range, where every bar is 1,000 bucks. Alright, so if you're doing the micros, every bar would be 100 bucks with a micro. You know, it works well. It works well with everything. Right? You see what I mean? I mean, it even works if you go down to the smaller time frames, but it's not really designed for the smaller stuff. Okay. So we flipped to a red background here. We're going to flip to a red background here. It didn't paint the last one here on the ES. Yeah, let me just go back and forth. There. Alright, flip to the red background there. We're in the red background here on the gold. We need that to pull back up and give us a spot, a short over there. And it's 3:16, so we have 45 minutes left to get to a positive day today in this room. Would I send an invite to the channel? You didn't get one, Jessica? I will send you an invite to the channel. Okay. I guess I need to send that out to everybody. I will send that out to everybody that is that's on the annual list. Okay. And TV trades range share alert. This is not a range TV 100 range TVT. That's not the right one. All right, but this is a TWLO time frame. Tula. That's an equity. It's a stock. Okay. That is why you keep messaging me. Okay. I thought I sent that out to everybody. Wayne. On stocks, yeah, I use range bars too. For everything. I use range bars. The way it is for stocks with range bars, if I go back here and we'll go to one of these things here, like the Netflix one. Okay, the Netflix is on 100 range, and so every bar is 100 cents. Every tick is 1 cent with stocks. So 100 range, every bar is $1. Okay, and this was Netflix today with the swing trades. Every bar is $1. This guy I used to work with a long time ago, like 30 years ago, when I was working at State Street. And he had this one stock that he traded every day that went up and down a quarter every day. And we would wait till it went down and buy it. It went up a quarter. And he had $100,000 to play with, so we'd buy it. He'd buy a bunch of it, 1,000 shares of it, I think is what he got. Buy 1,000 shares a day, he'd make $250 a day. It went up and down a quarter. You can do that kind of stuff with this too, if you wanted to. Let me go back over here and see if we have any more trades. Okay, the gold did not trigger a trade here because it was nowhere near the midpoint when it came out of the overbought. The ES, if it gives you an up close followed by a down close, would be a trade. The NQ needs the up close on this followed by a down close. So the ES and the NQ both need up closes followed by down closes to give you a trade. Do you guys see what I'm looking at when I say that? Because these are range bars, I know ahead of time where everything's going to be. So if this bar closes up, it'll be right here. It'll be in the overbought. If the next bar after that closes down, it'll be right here. And it'll come out of the overbought. That would be a trade. Same thing happens over here on the NQ. If this bar closes up, it'll be right about here. And then if the next bar closes down, it'll be right about here. That would be a trade. Alright. Right. If you use the swing trade thing, it's not looking, well, it's taking other things into account, but you don't need to look at it and take other things into account because it already is. It's already taking a lot of other things into account. It's not necessarily taking these colors into account, though, as you can see. It goes back and forth. But it's up to you. Keep it simple. Alright, so we got a down close on that. So we got a down close there, and that kind of messed things up on the ES right here. We got an up close, we got a down close on that, but it still made this go up. So that kind of messed things up on the NQ too. Okay, the question that I just answered, guys, was if I use swing trades, I don't need the TV trades for trend or trigger. Correct. That was the question I just responded to a minute ago. Let me scroll all the way down. Sharon, did you get my response about the green and red colors down here that you asked me about? It's basically looking at the longer term trend. Alright, when you have this, the optimal trigger right here, that just triggers in both directions, a lot. That's like a real serious scalping tool. The conservative bars are a little less scalpy, just a little less scalpy. They're still scalpy, but they're a little less scalpy. They're looking more at the trend. Okay. Now you didn't understand it. Okay, well, you don't really see it, but if you had, like, let's say you had, let me put something else on here. Go to technicals, and I don't want to throw you down any wild goose chase or anything like that, so I'm just going to pick a random thing that is going to appear on price. What do I do? Here. Price volume trend, is that a thing? Nope, that's down there on the bottom. Let's just put a moving average on there. You guys all know what those are, right? So just put a moving average exponential on there. And we'll make this a big one. Make this like a 250. Just a random number. But basically what these colors down here are doing is saying, it's saying basically the same thing as the optimum trigger, but it's only going to give you the short ones when it's below some sort of thing like that, and it's only going to give you the green ones when it's above some sort of thing like that. That's what it means, okay? It's looking at the bigger picture stuff. It's not just looking at the immediate stuff. Alright, this is going to be a trade here on whatever market that was that we were just on. The NQ is about to give us a trade. We just had a gap up on the Russell without a trade. We didn't get any follow-up gap here on the ES or anything else. We need an up close on the S followed by a down close on the S. We got the up closes. We got two of them here on the NQ, and now we need a down close over there to get the trade. Okay, down close on the NQ to get the short trade. There it is. Came out of the overbought on a down close in the red. That's what you want. Okay, so that is a short trade there on the NQ. Here it is. And now it has to go 10 ticks into profit. 10 ticks into profit to get the stop to break even. So it's going to get right here, 64.50. Okay, the last one that stopped us out came within one tick of getting to the right place. There we go. We get to the stop to break even on this now. What it should do is get down here to 58.25, and my target is down at 55.75. So I'm just going to lock in some profit on this one. There's 8 ticks, 12 ticks, 16 ticks. Alright, so we picked up 16 on that one. So we're only down a little bit now in the session. And we're looking for the ES. We want an up close followed by a down close on the ES. Alright. Did that help any, Sharon, when I went through it that way? There's stuff that you don't see that's going on with these colors over here. What I was trying to do is minimize all these, the white ones go back and forth and back and forth. You could have a short followed by long, followed by short, followed by long, followed by short, followed by long. And I was trying to minimize that kind of over trading stuff that could happen there. Okay, the gold almost has a trade. The NQ did not follow through and go all the way down here. We picked up those 16 ticks, but we did not follow through and go all the way down here. The gold needs to pull back up a little bit more and give us an up close on this bar followed by a down close would be a trade there. Now do you see how I'm looking out a couple of bars? They're range bars, so I know if we get an up close on this bar, if the bottom stays where it is, we get an up close, it's going to put it right about here, and that'll put us in the overbought. Then the next bar, if we get a down close, we put it right about here, and that'll take us out of the overbought, so that would be the trigger. Let's see, we have blue on this, that suggests the background could change. It's not a trade setup anyway. We need an up close, and if you get an up close on a blue bar, the background probably will change. Okay, it's not a trade setup there yet anyway. But what I just did there, let me see it slower. Right, if we get an up close on a red background with a blue bar, the background pose is probably going to change. But if it does close up, that's going to put this in the overbought. If it stays red, then we're going to need a down close. That's going to be just below the midpoint. Alright, depending how this bar finishes right now. If it were to keep the bottom where it is and give us an up close, there's going to be no chance for a trade. Right? If it keeps the top where it is, well, yeah, it keeps the top where it is, moves down some, and then gives us an up close right here, then there's a chance for a trade. But right now it's not looking like it's going to happen. Right? The gold, an up close on this, followed by a down close would be a trade. And the Russell's got nothing. The ES is pretty close. We need an up close followed by a down close on the ES. So the gold and the ES both have the same kind of scenario that needs to happen. Now, I know I'm saying a lot of words, but do you guys understand what I'm saying and why I'm saying it? I'm able to look at these markets and look 2 bars ahead, 3 bars ahead sometimes, and decide what's going to happen. What kind of action I need to take way ahead of time. Decide what kind of action I need to take. I'm not waiting until the last minute and deciding in a hurry. There's a plan of action already in place. If that bar, I'm pointing with my finger, this bar closes up, that's good. This will get into the overbought. Then the next bar, if it closes down, this will come out of the overbought. Right? It'll go like this. If the next bar closes up, this will go like that. And then if the next bar after that closes down, it'll go like that. And we'll enter the trade. Okay. Over here on the S, if this bar closes up, this should go like that. I don't know that it will, but it should go like that into the overbought. And then depending how it all ends up, the next bar could bring it down out of the overbought and give us a trade right here, right at the trigger. Like if that one closes up, it'd be like that, and the next one closes down, it'd be like that. If this one closes up, it'd be like this, and the one after it closing down would be like this. Something like that. Okay. That's what we're looking for. If it doesn't happen, if none of that happens, then we just have to keep waiting. Okay. So this bar closed up. This didn't go anywhere. We need this bar to close up to bring this up. Then the bar right after it to close down without going up at all. The bar right after this, if this closes at the top, closes up, then the bar right after it has to go straight down. If it goes up 2 ticks, then it's not going to be a trade, because it'll be above the midpoint when it closes. Now, do you see that? Do you understand why I said that? Oops. Didn't do that. Now, I want you guys to get this stuff, to have as much success with it as I do. So, if this bar closes up, that's great. This will get up to where we want it to, I think. If it does, if those things happen, it closes up and that gets where we want it to, then the next bar has to close straight down, right? Because if it goes up any more, then the down close will be above the midpoint. We don't want to enter above the midpoint. We want to enter at or below the midpoint. Okay. You see it? Like this did change color over here on the NQ. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. It did change color, so that warning was letting you know. We don't have that warning yet on the ES. I really thought we were going to have more trades in this session, but maybe it was all worn out because it was a wild morning. Alright, so the NQ, if we get a down close on this and up close on the next one, look, we got a down close there. It still went up, but we got a down close, so it's not in the overbought, so none of this stuff is happening here on the ES. We got an up close here on the gold, but it didn't make it into the overbought, so none of that is happening either. And we have the potential for a long trade here on the NQ. Okay. So does this help you guys if I do this on the chart instead of keeping track of it on my own? I'm going to keep track of it in the spreadsheet too. You guys all have access to the spreadsheet too, by the way. If you want to have access to this, you do have access to this as well. This is my Wednesday results. And so far we're -9 here, I think. Now, this did not come out of the oversold, so there's no trade here. This did not come out of the overbought, so there's no trade there. This didn't do anything, so there's no trade there. None of these markets are giving us a trade right now. So, if we jump back here for a minute, and we look here. Let's go into the Telegram channel again, and see in the Telegram channel. The last one that said this right here, TVT swing. Those are the ones that have the new tool. They say TVT swing on them. Alright, so the last one that said that was here at, well, it was the YM. We looked at the YM already. That moved some. The ES sell at about noon at 62.74. That was it. Hang on. I feel like something's moving here. Nope, nothing we can do. Alright, so it was an ES sell around noon. At 62.74, this one. What is this right here? So that didn't really go anywhere. 62.74. That one would have stopped up. Let's see, we're back in here, nothing there, we're oversold now. It doesn't really mean anything because we're in chop. None of the things we wanted to have happen did. We didn't get into the overbought there, we didn't get into the overbought there. The NQ changed color and didn't get into the oversold. So we just have to wait, be patient here. Okay. You notice the NQ chart has a 19 range, yours is a 47. Did you miss something? I've been using a 19 range for about 2 weeks now, because it got really slow using the 47. For 2 or 3 weeks I've been using the 19 range. The risk management for the 19 range is right in here. If you go to targetviewtrades.com, go to more, click on risk management. 19 range is right here. Alright, use a 25 tick stop, trails break even after 10 ticks in target with 10 ticks in profit with a 45 tick target. That's what I use for the NQ 19 range. Alright. Okay, you are welcome. Yeah, today I could have gone with a 47 range. It was wild enough today to go back to the 47 range. But lately, the 19 range has been giving us pretty good results. You know, we go in here and look. We're up $6,645 a contract on the NQ this month. The results are pretty good, except for that first day of the month. The results have been pretty good, pretty consistent. So, The gold is usually a big winner too, and this month the gold isn't as big as it usually is. Well, it has been the last few months anyway. Alright, so speaking of the gold, we're back in the overbought. We need a down close from the current bar on the overbought. Alright, so it's got a high here, 55.2. You'd be selling right now, 54.2. Okay. And the ES just isn't giving us anything here. It's completely sideways. Now, what you can do when it gets like this, I showed you this last week, when it gets completely sideways like this, you can get rid of that, come in here and turn that guy on. That guy. In that case, we would have bought right here a minute ago. We would have sold right here a few minutes ago. Did you guys see that? Did you all see that? I shut off the optimized on this side and flipped on the area right here, the div area. So if the blue goes by itself, the blue leads in by itself, that's where you trade. Just buy or sell the open in the next bar. That's what you can do in here right now. Okay. If I look at this one right now, turn the div area on. That didn't really give us anything in here. No benefit on the gold. Would have given you one nice trade there on the NQ. Would have given you two nice trades here on the ES. And this, we'd have to shut that off. Come in here and turn that on. They wouldn't have done anything for you on the Russell. Alright, so where we are on the NQ right now, we're in a position to take a trade here. We did get into the oversold. We're in a position to take a trade on an up close. It's going to be 5 points from the bottom of the bar. It'd be 70.50 right now. Okay, 70.50 will be above the midpoint. So it would be an okay trade to take in there in all this chop that we're in. Let me put this back over here and see. Nobody had any questions about all this? Thought that might spur a question or two. Guess not. Alright. Well. We need the up close over here on the NQ. We actually have a down close over here on the gold. That came out of the overbought. That, I believe that was a valid trade there on the gold, coming out of the overbought right there. Okay, and the NQ we're still waiting for. Oh, it did just trigger. Okay, well the NQ just triggered. Okay, it came out of the oversold on the up close off the midpoint. It's the NQ triggered, and I'm going to throw my stop at break even on that. I'll bring it over and show it to you now. Here it is. I'm going to lock in 4, and hopefully it's going to run up some more again right here. It was just up. Come on, get up to like right here, where it was a minute ago. Get up there. It should get up to 76.25 right here. It should get all the way up here somewhere. There we go. I'm going to lock in 12 right there. That puts us positive. Okay, and 16. That puts us positive, and the gold is going too. The gold, I'm going to move that stop to break even, and now I'm going to move that stop to +5. And that should get down here to 53.9. Alright, so I'm going to lock in 7. I'm just going to take 7 on that. I should have let it go. So we just got 16 right here, right? Pretty sure. You can copy that and put it over here. Paste. Got another one of those right there. Okay, 16 there. We got 7 over here on the gold. Alright, so we're positive now, that's all good. And let me minimize that thing and come in here and do this. NQ 100 range swing trades did well yesterday. Yeah, they did. They did. How to do today? Let's go look. Let me just make sure we don't have any of the trades triggered in here. We don't. Okay. Let's just make this an NQ. I can make this an NQ. Here it is. Here's an NQ today. 100 range. Starting today. It was really volatile today, so 100 range would have triggered a bunch of times, I think. Okay, so today started 14th, 15th, 15th. Here we are, 16th. So right there. Win. Not win. Not win. Win. So right now we're 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5. That would have pulled back and stopped you out right there. So 3 out of 6. This one would have stopped you out just barely, and then you could have taken that one, would have been a break even. So 3 out of 7 with a break even. This one, if you look at this, let me show you this. Alright, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I added this feature for you. If you want to see how far a bar went, put on the TV trades like this, right? And put on this thing right here in your data window, like that. And then hover over the bar that you want to know. And it'll tell you from the open of the bar how far into profit it went, or how far up it went, how far down it went right here. The sell profit and buy profit ticks. That's from the open to the top, it only went 17 ticks. Alright? And then that one there went a little bit further. If the open of this one was here, that one went up a little bit further. But that still would have been a stop out. You would have gotten some more profit there. But it didn't do well today. It did about 50% today, it looks like. Which isn't that good. It usually does better than that. Uh-oh. Black screen. Uh-oh. Hang on, guys. Hang on. There's a couple of you guys saying that. I don't know why I got a black screen. It just, I see the share thing just went wacky a little bit. Uh-oh. Man, I don't know what's happening with this. Alright, you guys can hear me still, right? The YouTube recording does still have the charts. Okay, as long as you can still hear me, the YouTube recording does have the charts. I don't know what's going on with the screen sharing thing, though. Alright, it's just going around and around. I can... Wow, crap. Alright, well, let me just keep talking through things here. Let me go back here first and see if we got any more trades setting up. The last said he did a refresh of the PED. SWD can see the chart. SWD, what does that mean? He did a refresh of the page and he could see it, but I don't see it shown from my side either. Nobody has shared their screen or turned on their camera yet. That's what it's telling me right now. Okay. And if I hit share screen, it doesn't give me anything to share it with. Let me see. That's what it says to you. Still says it's still nothing. Okay. Yeah, I get that, Michael. I'm seeing that you guys are all having no screen and I don't know how to fix it. But webinar is failing on me right now. It says no active cameras. I know that. Shut that off. All I can do, I think, is try to share it out to somebody else. And then take it back. Michael R., are you in here right now? I know you're in here somewhere, right? Let me go here. Let's see, let me see if I can make you an organizer and share your screen. Okay, let me see if I can do that. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I don't think I can. Alright, I know a bunch of you guys are logging off and logging back on right now. I am so sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. It just failed. Share screen, Alt-S it says. Alt-S. This is so aggravating. Alright, I'm gonna slow down the recording right here, guys. We don't have a trade right now, but I am going to... Alright, so we're back after that little malfunction. We're back after that little malfunction, and we had a trade here that just triggered on the ES that I didn't see. We have one here. Okay. Yeah. We had a trade over here that triggered on the Russell. We had a trade here on the ES that triggered. We have a trade here on gold that looks like it triggered too. The ES one went up and did nicely. The Russell one went up from here. It actually didn't do anything at all. The gold one, it looks like you could still jump on the gold if you wanted to. Is that right, though? I think it is. The NQ changed colors here. The background color changed, but it's not in the overbought. So what we need to have happen here on the NQ is we need to have an up close. It's going to put us at the midpoint above it, get us into the overbought. Now we need a down close on that. Okay. Sorry about that malfunction. That had nothing to do with me. That was all GoToWebinar. That just quit on us there for a few minutes. All right. Please explain the trades I am talking about and all the instruments. Okay. What I was talking about on the NQ, for instance, the NQ, we came up here, we closed up above there, right, and we went into the overbought when it closed above there. The background is red, so what I'm looking for right now in the background is red, is a bounce off the midpoint that closes on or below the midpoint when it comes out of the overbought. That was it. So the trade was right there. No, the trade was right there on that one. Okay, that's what you're looking for on that. On the ES, while I was dealing with my technical difficulties, this right here, it came down. It didn't really hit the midpoint, so that wasn't the greatest trade right there. But if it would have hit the midpoint and come out of the oversold right here, the up close on that bar, if it would have hit the midpoint, that would have been a good trade right there. Okay, over here on the Russell, it did actually hit the midpoint right here, and it gave you the up close right there. That was a good trade where it came out of the oversold. Now this one right here on the list, you see how it didn't go all the way up into the overbought? You don't have a trade because it didn't go up into the overbought. Then the following trade right here will just turn to red on the background. But if it were still blue, you wouldn't take another trade in that direction. But the background color has changed, so you're not interested in trading in that direction. Anyway, over here on the gold, we took this trade a few minutes ago. We got 7 ticks profit on that. It went down, got into the oversold, came all the way back up, still in the red background, got into the overbought, gave you a down close right here, right at the midpoint. That down close right there is a trade you could have taken short right there when it came out of the overbought. That's the trade setup. Okay, that's the whole thing right there, again and again and again. That's all you're doing. Right here on the NQ, a down close here on the NQ right now is going to be a trade. Okay, why? Because it went into the overbought. You have a red background, went into the overbought, it hit the midpoint, and you're looking for a down close. If you get the down close, that'll be a short. It doesn't have anywhere to go really. It's really close to the swing low. But at this point in the day, we only have 8 minutes left in this whole session. But at this point in the day, that's kind of the thing you're looking for, right? Now, so, all right, let me get this thing back up here again so I can see any more questions that came in. Right, which was your issue? What part was your issue, Nilesh? This ended up being no trade here, okay, because the down close happened above the midpoint. The ES trade. This right here, that it didn't hit the midpoint and it closed up. That was your issue? See, right now the things are getting a little choppy right here as we wind down the equity markets on the day. I don't have my DOM. I can't find my DOM. There it is. As we wind down the equity markets on the day, things are getting a little jumpy. It seems like the indices. Well, the NQ's got a short right here off the midpoint, right? The NQ's got a short off the midpoint right there. I'm trying to bring it over and show it to you. Crap. I'm trying to bring it over and show it to you. My stop's at break even on it. I'm going to lock in 4 on that, 8 on that. And I'm expecting a big run right here. One way or the other is going to make a big move, I think. Okay. We'll go to 12 on that. 16 on that. 20, and we're out with 20 more. Okay, and that's the NQ. Yeah, let me just put another 20 on there. Let me save this too before that gets lost. So put another 20 on there. Okay, so that's pulled back again right now, and it's not in the overbought. If we get an up close on this, we didn't. We got a down close, but it still went up on a down close. So now it's kind of mixed up right here. Let me go back and I want to make sure I answer your question, Nilesh, on the yes trade. Did I get it? Did I answer your question? I want to make sure I get all your questions answered because I know you've been having a lot of them lately. This never made it into the overbought, so this down close was not a trade. Okay. Never made it into the overbought, so the down close is not a trade. So we're waiting. We only have about 5 minutes left in here. Sorry about that mix up with the I don't know why GoToWebinar just stopped working like that, but it did. But I mean, I know some people dropped out when that happened, and I don't blame you, but in the YouTube, you missed how you receive the long trades. How you receive the long trades, Jerry? You mean in the Telegram channel? Yours is still black? Or you're the only one who's still black. Jerry, in the Telegram channel, I think you already sent me a thing, right? You sent me an email saying you wanted to have access, and I replied already, right? Right, unknown. I don't know what your name is, but you're the only one who's still got the problem. I'm looking at it on my other computer over here, and it's working just fine on the other computer, so I'm sure it's working for everybody else too. Yes, Jerry. In the email that was sent to you yesterday or last night, I think, there was a link that was sent in there. If anybody doesn't have access to the Telegram channel for the swing trade and you want it, you're in here. You have to be subscribed, or you have to be on the trial. Right? You either have to be a subscriber, a TV Trades person, or you have to be on the trial to get it. But just send me an email. Send an email to support@targetviewtrades.com and just put swing trade in the subject line and put your TradingView ID in the body, and I'll get that done for you right away. Okay. I want to give everybody that's here, everybody that's here that's truly interested, I want to give you all access to it so you can see how it works, because it's a really good tool, and it's it's going to help you guys that don't have the ability to sit there at your computer all day. Right, because the trades, they trigger, but they take a long time to come to fruition. They take a long, they don't happen again and again and again. And if you turn your head away for 5 minutes, you're not necessarily going to miss anything. Okay, that was the whole idea behind it. The background color changed. The ES is at the midpoint and it's overbought, so a down close here on the ES would be a trade. Now we're running out of time here. We only have 2.5 minutes, so I don't know if I'm going to bother with that. But I will go through and tally up what we've gotten so far. I know we probably didn't get to the $400 a contract number. Probably not that far. Probably $200 a contract. If the ES were to give us a trade here and give us a good trade, then it could be pretty close. But if it stumps us out, then that would take us away from it. Maybe a trade in ES to short. That's what you're looking at, Wayne. It came up, it hit the midpoint, you're in the overbought, so you'd be looking for the down close on the ES. It's got a higher 306, you'd be selling 304 on that. Okay? Be selling 304 on that. I somehow, I think I wiped out my ES DOM when I was trying to fix those things. Let's see. USEN, there it is. No, I didn't wipe it out. I just moved it. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so you got the down close there on the ES. It came out of the overbought. It was actually an aggressive trade too right there, because the blue led into the overbought by itself. So you had a couple of different types of trade right there. Now, I did take it. I got in at 4.5. So my stop's going to go to break even when it hits 3.5. And it should make it down to 3.5 here. Okay, we're looking for it to get, there it is, stop to 1, break even. Now, stop to +2. And we're looking for it to get down here at a minimum. Okay, 302. That got me out with just 2 more. We run out of time, so I was kind of aggressive with that stop. But this changed colors here, so you ended up with no trade over here on the NQ, and now it's looking like it might give you a short. You have nothing over here on gold yet. You have nothing here on the Russell yet. And that was it. Alright. Let me minimize this thing. And, man, this big drink cup is in my way. Alright. You're on it. You got a little bit of profit out of that, Wayne. I took that and I got a couple of ticks profit. You should have gotten a couple of ticks, maybe a couple of points. You had a chance to. There's no trade here on the gold. There's no trade here on the Russell. There's no additional trade yet on the ES, and there's no trade here on the NQ either. Alright, you got 5 ticks out of it. Excellent. 5 ticks for me would be $750. No, I'm sorry. That'd be $375. No, 5 ticks, $625. Anyway, let's wrap it up, guys. It's 4 o'clock. Alright. I haven't said any of this stuff yet, but if you haven't taken a free trial, go here to tvtrades.com. Click on the orange button right there. The orange button is going to be down to the bottom. $25 a week, $9 a month, $97 a year. That's all you got to do to take the free trial. Alright. If you haven't taken the trial, take the trial. If you are in the trial, if you start the trial now, I'll automatically give you access to the swing trade stuff. If you're in the trial and you don't have access to it, just send me an email. Send an email. If you're a subscriber or you're on the trial and you don't have access to the swing trade stuff, just send an email to support@targetviewtrades.com. Put swing trade in the subject line and put your TradingView login ID in the body. That's all I need to know. Okay. And I will set you guys up. I don't know who you are. Unknown. Send your invite, please. Send me an email, like I just said. Send me an email, okay? Because you're unknown. I don't know who you are. Said send your invite, please. You're really happy. Hang on. It's you. Oh. Is it really you? Alright. Your screen stayed black. Goober. Okay. Well, you can go watch it. You can go watch it in YouTube. Alright. So, let me say that one more time. If you haven't taken a free trial, go to tvtrades.com. tvtrades.com. Targetviewtrades.com. If you go here, under More, go to Risk Management. If you want to look at some of the larger time frames, I have some stuff in there for that. Okay. If you want to see where this webinar is going to be posted, you go here to targetviewtrades.com. Go to upcoming and past webinars. It will be posted right here in about a half an hour. It'll be right here, okay? And last week's will be right here in half an hour. Alright? So, that is going to be it for this. Is there a way to use this on NinjaTrader 8? No, there is not. And I'm not going to make it for NinjaTrader 8. Let me shut off the recording for YouTube. Alright? Alright. Again, take the free trial at tvtrades.com.